Let's talk to Ronnie Chopra. He's the Chief Market Strategist at Knightsbridge Trading Academy. Very good morning to you, young Ronnie. Right, 3 thoughts-provoking slides. Let's kick off without further ado. The FTSE 100. A nice rally since the March lows. 1,000 points certainly caught out.
True.
A lot of commentators.
I did say below 7,000 there's a lot of value in the FTSE 100. And I say it again now, even at 7.7, because of all the bid activity and the fall in the pound. You know, we're still looking quite cheap, especially compared with global indices. I mean, just going through the FTSE 100, at the moment, I could see probably at least half a dozen potential bid targets within the next 12 to 18 months. We could start in alphabetical order, maybe Aviva, the insurance giant, which back, I think, in 2007, they were in merger discussions with Prudential. They were both around the same sort of share price, both around £7 or £8 a share. And in fact, Aviva had a larger market cap than Prudential then. Problem is that Aviva concentrated in the UK and in Europe, and Prudential concentrated in Asia. And that's where the growth's been. So that's one. The other one, I mean, we've talked about quite a lot, is British Telecom. Again, I reiterate the point that Deutsche Telekom will be able to bid for them in 2019. And the Sunday Times also followed my lead. I don't know if you saw that article, mentioning that they have a 12% stake and you know that they're able to bid for them in 2019. Barclays is another one. Obviously, we've heard about the merger discussions with Standard Chartered or not, maybe, but otherwise, even around the £2 mark, you have the activist Bramson 5-point-something% stake. Barclays are getting their act together. I think the last set of results were good. If not a bid, then possibly a demerger of their US interests. You know, they still own parts of Lehman Brothers, bought for a song back in, I think it was $1, wasn't it? Back in 2009. So that's another one. Also, I think in the pharmaceutical sector, I think we still have possibly some bid action for maybe AstraZeneca or even Glaxo, because there is going to be consolidation. I mean, we just had the bid for Shire. Also, recently, I just saw that Vodafone have slipped back. They're near their year low. Around, you see that? Like 187, 188. I think they're quite attractive as well. Again, there's consolidation in the telecommunications sector, and with a weak pound, it's surprising that Vodafone aren't doing better because they're a major dollar earner. Then we go back to the retail sector, good old Marks and Spencer's. They went ex-dividend a few days ago, like 9p or something, and they're hovering, I think yesterday was a bit of a spike to around the 305 mark. I haven't actually seen where they are at the moment, but taking that 9p on top of the 305, 314, when I was on your show last, I think they were trading around the 280, 290 mark. So yeah, I mean, there are quite a few.
Okay, and we haven't even talked about ITV.
Oh, sorry, I was going to mention that. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. ITV, definitely.
Okay, so potential for a lot of M&A over the next 12 months.
That's why I'm bullish on the FTSE 100, especially when you compare it with the other indices. I mean,
understood. Okay, well, let's go on to the second slide, which is the Dow Jones. Again, we've rallied off the lows. We haven't taken out the old high, which I've got a lot of commentators saying that's a tad worrying, and the textbooks would say that we really need to take out that old high.
We've had a decent rally, though, in the Dow, and I think that it's looking quite toppy. And maybe today could be the start of a little bit of a correction if we get this Fed rate hike, which is factored into the market.
Well, more importantly, if we don't get it, right?
Well, yes, I think eventually we will get it. I think we should get it today. But the thing is that the new Fed chair, Powell, he's unlike Yellen, who was very economical with her words. The new Fed chair is not so economical, and he has a lot more openness about him, and he can move the markets. And in the past, when he's spoken, he's not really a big fan of the Dow or the US indices, if you notice, in the past. I think there could be room for a little bit of a fall once the Fed announcement is announced. But yes, maybe a pairs trade again with the going short.
FTSE short Dow.
Yeah, I think so. Because also, as a currency play, the dollar is still very strong. You know, against the pound, we're still hovering around the 134 mark. And I'm not sure if we get a rate hike today, then there's probably going to be more strength in the Dow. And that's not good for many of the Dow constituents because, again, all multinational companies, major non-dollar earners, so, in euros or sterling, etc., yen. So, yeah, that doesn't bode well for the Dow in the short term.
Okay, let's just wrap up with the last slide quickly. Barclays Bank PLC, you've been bullish on this.
I am. Again, I mean, it's got so much going for it at the moment, I think. Again, it's barely moved, at £2 a share. Forward price earnings ratio for next year of about 8.
Right.
They're going to increase the dividend, so we're talking about 4 to 5% next year. Again, we have the activist investor who's definitely going to do something or ensure that Jess Steely gets his act together and enhances shareholder value. And Jess Steely has said as well, Barclays have done, extremely badly in the last few years. This and Deutsche Bank are the two real laggards for over the last couple of years. And I think these are a great recovery play, whether there's consolidation in the sector with Barclays and Standard Chartered, or if Barclays itself is taken out, possibly a demerger, like I said, of the US interests. Even if there's a fall in the markets, this offers great value.
On that note, Ronnie, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.